Morning, it's Wednesday the 4th of March 2020. I haven't provided an update for a little while on my health, so I thought I would give you a bit of an update on what's happening, what's helped me, and yeah, just a general update generally. Said generally too many times there. So yeah, so still got the brain fog, still find difficulty finding words, still forget where I am in a sentence, case in point. Still sweat easily, still get sore eyes, all of the other symptoms that I've had the last 10 years now. But I think I've learned things over the years that have helped me. I'm also trying this auto cue thing on my iPad, see if that helps. So yeah, the first point is stress. So I left my job, which was full-time at the end of last year, and not for health reasons, but it did. I think it is a helpful thing for me to do. Massive thing to be able to leave a job. I've got savings for a little bit that I can keep going without another job, and I think I'll use that to my advantage to understand my health a little bit better. I think in the past I might have just ploughed on if I wasn't feeling great because I felt that I needed the money to pay the bills. So I basically ignored my symptoms, and that wouldn't necessarily help me. So I think stress, the last few jobs I found pretty stressful because I've maybe not had the opportunity to do the job I know I can do, so being quite restricted in some ways, and I think maybe my personality type hasn't really let things go when I should have done, really, for my own health. But I think it's hard to understand that point unless you change your situation. So if you leave one job and move on to another, or you quit your job, it's hard to understand that. I found, just reducing stress generally. So if I'm not feeling great, if the brain fog's really high, I'll drop off social media. That will sometimes mean deleting the apps. I've deleted Facebook app from time to time and then reinstalled it when I'm feeling a bit better. I probably need to do that a bit more because I am on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. I found going to a breathing class. This starts at 4:30 in the afternoon for an hour. The only reason I can go is because I'm not in the job. And that's a 4-week course. So one time every week, and that's really helpful just to learn what helpful breathing looks like and to focus on your breath and to understand actually what that's doing, because you take it for granted. And actually playing around with your breath and using that as a tool to meditate with I found really helpful, and I've come away from these classes feeling really good. And something I need to do is practice some of the techniques that I learned in that class. Diet. So me and my girlfriend started Slimming World in January, like a lot of people do with health kicks. Basically Slimming World is just basically eating a balanced diet and cutting down on your refined carbs, not eating loads of sugar, not drinking too much, and then essentially not using calories but what they call sins. You basically watching what you eat, making sure that your diet is calorie controlled and eating within it, because we both wanted to lose a little bit of weight. So I think that was helpful to do, just to start eating better. Let's move down a bit. I found that gluten has been an issue, so I've taken gluten out of my diet. I do occasionally eat gluten because I bloody love bread and brownies and gravy and everything that gluten is in. So I'll take a gamble on what I'm going to eat. So, if I'm going out with a family or with friends, I'll try and avoid gluten. So if there's a gluten-free option, I will have it. But I might have a brownie as a dessert, and I'll take a risk, how much that will affect me over time. Last weekend, I probably went overboard. I had too much gluten in one day, and it may well be affecting me now on Wednesday. I'm not feeling particularly great. So that's playing a part. Alcohol, obviously people get hangovers, but mine seem to last like a week. I guess our immune systems are not as strong as others, so alcohol just abuses the system. And something I'm considering is a keto diet. So my girlfriend is a dietitian and she's warned me against it. That said, she's not actually looked into any of the information on keto for people living with ME or CFS. A lot of people with ME/CFS or idiopathic chronic fatigue get a lot of energy from running a keto diet, but it's hard. You need to eat a lot of fat. You really shouldn't eat any carbs, and it's hard. So I've bought a blood ketone tester. I haven't used it yet, but I want to when I start trying keto. Hopefully that'll be next week. And I've also got a keto app, so it measures. It's a bit like MyFitnessPal. You can add your foods in, and it'll tell you, what to eat, what need to cut back on. So things like porridge, I'm eating at the moment every morning. Need to cut that out because it's loads of carbs, and it's basically my entire carb intake for the day. So we'll see how that goes. For beyond this weekend, I've not got too many things on a weekend that will push me to eat things I shouldn't be eating or drinking too much or that kind of thing. Exercise, I do find the gym is helpful to me, particularly high intensity interval training. So that's basically running as fast as I can on the treadmill for me for about 30 to 40 seconds, then stopping for 30 to 40 seconds, and then doing that running as hard as I can for another 30, 40 seconds. Do that repetitively for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes if I can. This is very hard. When I'm feeling shit, it's hard enough just drag myself to the gym, and sometimes I'll just spend 5 minutes in the car before I go into the gym, just psyching myself up to move. But I do feel better after it. I do feel the brain fog is less. I can focus a bit more, and it just means I can get through the day, and that was really helpful when I was in a job to actually feel not lose my sanity and feel like I concentrate for short periods of time when I needed to. Supplements, I'm trying to find evidence-based supplements, so where there's a research paper showing that this, that, the other works. It tends to be research papers that have quite a high dose, but things like B complex of B1, B2, B12, so the sublingual B12, so you put it underneath your tongue because it better absorbs into your bloodstream than going into your stomach, which would otherwise be killed by stomach acid. Things like vitamin C, take quite a bit of that. L-carnitine, magnesium, coenzyme Q10. What else have we got? There's quite a few things. Next one, mindset. So trying to listen to my body, trying to figure out, okay, do you feel awful, or do you know that if you keep doing this thing, it's just going to make it worse? So if I'm starting to feel more tense and my brain fog and tension headaches just getting really tight, then I need to back off something. So without having a job, that is easier to do, so I can stop doing some work. I found that by researching my own health and understanding myself better and giving myself hope, I think I'd really lost it. I think with a lot of people with ME and CFS, you just get told that you can only manage it, we don't really understand it. You get that look from clinicians that is essentially to say it's a psychological problem, it's all in your head, blah blah blah, and I can't stand that look. But I think I found my own hope, and that's been really difficult to find. It's taken a few years to find. So it's really helpful to just get some hope back and have things that I can work on, I can try and see if they help. Batico, I think, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but basically it's the idea that by breathing through your nose more, it will help to give you energy. And the science behind this is a bit woolly, I'm not entirely sure. The reason why I thought I'd give it a go is because my immunologist suggested it about 4 years ago. I tried it for a little bit, it didn't really do anything, so I left it. But I've been listening to a podcast by Dr. Chatterjee, who's a UK GP, who's interested in kind of lifestyle medicine, and had a recent podcast out in the last couple of weeks around Keto, and its potential positive impact. So in an evening when I go to bed, I've now got these nasal strips to open up my nose, and I tape my mouth with microporous tape that I got off Amazon, and that's 5 centimeters wide if you're looking for that. made by 3M. I'm sure I look pretty scary to my girlfriend, but she's not seen me yet with that on. But I'm just going to try that for a couple of weeks at least, just to see how that feels. After a few days, I do feel that I can breathe easier and I sleep better because of it. But when I've mentioned this whole approach to a GP, they were like, that isn't a thing. You take in oxygen as well through your nose as you through your mouth. So, but like a lot of things, GPs don't always know what's helpful or not, so I'm just going to give it a go. Probiotics. So I've run out recently of my probiotics. I've ordered some more. I'm currently on Alpha-X, which you can get in Boots, but you can get on Amazon. It's probably one of the cheapest of the probiotics that actually work. The other two to try are VSL3 and Simprove, and it's only those three that have evidence base to show that actually the probiotics get to your stomach. A lot of the other probiotics, one of the stuff that you can get in the supermarket from Yakult and all that stuff, is killed by stomach acid. So even though there are those good bacteria, it's not actually getting to the right place. So I would only pick from those three. They all work slightly differently because they all contain different bacteria, so pick one that's right for you. Simprove was probably pretty good as well, but it's quite expensive because you have got to store it. It comes in a liquid form and you've got to store it in the fridge. Bit tricky if you go on holiday, that kind of thing. Resting properly. So I thought watching TV is resting, but actually what I found is the type of TV program has an impact. So if I'm watching something that has a bit more jerky, so I've started watching Lock and Key. To be honest, I probably should start watching that because it's a bit jumpy and you don't know what's going to happen next. Watch something easy. So I think we were watching Love is Blind the other day. Questionable program, but easy to watch, a bit like Love Island, I guess, but worse. So I found actually just literally doing nothing, just lying on my bed and being a bit more mindful. So being mindful of my body, where my body's touching the bed, what sounds I can hear, what I can touch, what I can see, what can I taste, and just focusing on being present is a good way of relaxing. And lastly, mood tracking. So I use an app called Dailyo. It's free to download. I do pay a subscription just so I can export the data from it as and when, but basically it helps me to record how I'm feeling per day and some of the activities that I've been doing that day or yesterday or the previous day, and that might be influencing my mood. So by using that app, I've noticed that actually what I'm doing on a weekend affects the rest of my week, and so it might be feeling a bit better by Thursday or Friday. I then do some social things on a weekend and then it completely ruins me again for the next week, and I've just been in this cycle for 10 years and I've not really realised that. I guess I've always thought, if I go out and have a few drinks on a Saturday, yes, I'll be hungover on the Sunday, but I should be fine on a Monday because that's how that's how you're told to, that's what you're expected to do in modern society, is that you do go out and drink on a Saturday night because that's the norm. You feel hungover on the Sunday and then you should feel fine on the Monday, maybe a bit tired, but fine. Whereas I'm actually absolutely dead to the water Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting to feel a bit better Thursday, and it's just, I need to get out of this routine. So that's something that I'm focusing on at the moment. So that's a bit of an update. Rambled a bit as per usual, but I thought it would be helpful to tell you where I'm up to.